Hello Mary and welcome on Tonalités de Femmes. I am very inspired by your energy and bubbling personality. First of all, what is your view on the European economic crisis and especially in your home country?
Yeah, well, I am from Greece, huh? So I've seen my country going from this carefree, fun place to a place where the shops I grew up next to are shutting down. And I remember the town square. My town was not poor at all. And my father has 3 shoe shops in the busiest square of the town. And now, I remember this square being the heart and the vibe of the town. And now my father's shop, the central one, is standing there alone next to empty shops that can no longer operate. And it's extremely difficult, especially for me, because I left when I was 18 or 19. I made it happen. I did become financially independent and actually quite well off. So in the beginning I thought, well, poor people or people that don't have money, they should just work as hard as I did. It was really hard for me to do this, leave my country and make everything happen. And as the crisis was setting in on us, and my family is not that affected, but it was still happening in my country, which is the love of my life. And as I was seeing it happening and living here, I realized that if there's anyone who has to help, it's us. It is the well-off people. It is the ones that maybe took the right decisions, or whatever it is, whether it's laziness, lack of education, lack of opportunity, it doesn't matter. It's not important. We are the ones that have to take responsibility and help the others. And I see that by living in Holland. We pay higher tax here than pretty much everyone else around us, especially in Greece or in England where I also lived. But the return is again better. I don't see homeless people around me. The streets are fine. I don't see poor people around me so much. Yeah, maybe I get hurt because I pay a lot of tax and I have some capital, so it hits me a lot, the taxation here. But I prefer it to going to Greece and see people going through garbage or seeing empty streets and empty shops and people starving to death. I'd pay even more anytime if I knew that then the state, like they do here, would help the ones less fortunate.
Please could you share with us your childhood? How did you grow up?
Well, I grew up in a small town of the north of Greece called Drama. That is caused to many jokes, drama queen, etc. So yeah, Southern Europe, mainland, small town called Drama, with my 2 parents and my sister. We grew up in a block of flats, so not in a big house with a garden, just a block of flats, an apartment basically with balconies, next to my father's sister and her family, and just below my grandma, my father's mother. So yeah, the Greek family life was very, very apparent then. Everyone was always coming in, going out, and I do remember having family around in that specific block of flats until about I was 10 years old when we moved to another place. I was the overachiever type of child because I was the firstborn. Parents tend to do that a lot with their firstborns. They try to teach them everything from day one. So I knew how to read and how to write by the age of 2. I knew how to read numbers and do simple calculations, and then I taught my sister. So I was this child that, well, her parents were very proud of that she could do all this. I don't know if that's necessarily good for a child. I think you should let them play as much as they want. But since you cannot change the past, what I did get from it is a pretty high level of intelligence and analytical nature, because I was forced to think like that from the age of 1 or maybe even earlier. I don't know. All I can remember is that I could read and write since I was very, very young. So obviously then when I went to school, I was better than my peers and I was just this smart girl.
Mary, you are a dynamic and successful young woman. How important is it for you to be financially independent, and what does it mean for your values in life?
It's not as important as it used to be. I have lived basically all my life trying to be financially independent and professionally successful, and putting a lot of strength and effort into this. as a life goal. But once you have achieved this, it also becomes apparent that it is not everything. Of course, it's something, and it's fantastic to have financial independence and to be able to do whatever you want, to not have to report to anyone, like your parents if you're Greek, or your husband if you're having to rely on him. But it is not everything. I mean, I see people around me who are not financially independent and who have to depend on their husbands or parents or state, and it doesn't take anything away from happiness. I do enjoy it, and I don't want to give it away just for the sake of it, but I don't think it's the alpha and the omega of life. It's just an amazing bonus that I have on the side, which allows me to do things for me and the people I love. I studied in England, so I left Greece to pursue my academic career in Manchester and then Leeds. I studied computer science, and then I did a master's on international business. England is a great place for education, I believe, but I wasn't very happy there. Again, I think it was just me, but I was so young, I couldn't place it on myself. I was just placing it on the environment and the cold English people. So I decided to leave England after my master's and move to Holland, which coincided with the first job that I found here, which was a project I was doing for a big company, an IT project. I did that for 6 months, and then I moved on to my first normal job, which was systems administrator. Very similar to what I do today, basically. I take care of systems for a biotech company. Did that for a while, moved on to a different company, apparel and footwear was the industry. Did the same there for a while. Basically what I do is I manage the ERP systems of the company, which is the enterprise resource planning, where everything is happening from material placement to ordering to invoices to financials. And my last job, which is also my current job, is with Tommy Hilfiger, which is a company I always wanted to work for. I remember, I was really young and I would pass by and I would see the building and I would hear all these stories. It was almost like an urban legend, things that happen in this company. And I thought, oh, I really want to do this. I have to gain the experience because it is really hard to get in. I know this from my friends who are trying to get in. So my job before in apparel and footwear obviously really helped. And I did get the job I wanted at Tommy. I've been there now for almost 5 years. And I can tell you, all these legends and rumors, they're all true. It's all true. It really is as exciting as people say. And yeah, it's very hard for someone to describe it, but once you're in there, it's amazing. I feel like they're my family. Everyone I work with, everyone calls it the Tommy family, and everyone thinks this is maybe a pretentious title, but it really is a family. We really are a family, and it's very important for someone like me and a lot of other people who work there, who are expats and don't have their families here, to go to work to an environment where they don't feel pressured or stressed, but they feel like they're working with their family to just, to get the job done, basically.
What will be the main qualities of your future Prince Charming?
Oh, the main qualities. Perfect timing for this question, by the way. Well, you live and learn. When you're 14, you want them to be blonde and have blue eyes. When you're 16, you think, oh yeah, but the blonde guy was not so good, so maybe now they should just be tall because the last guy was short. And I think as you go by, one thing replaces the other. So I don't think my answer is going to be very objective at the moment, but still it's the answer I'm going to give now. They have to be mature and self-reflective. I really have done a lot of work on myself because growing up with such pressure wasn't easy on me, and I remained immature for longer than I would have liked to. But I did, step up and did my own growing up, and I would like a man who has done this himself. Because if he has, then all the other attributes, of his career or of his circumstance becomes irrelevant. When you can deal with life, you can deal with life, and it doesn't matter what happens in life. It doesn't matter if you have kids, if you don't have kids. It doesn't matter if you're tall or short, or if you have a lot of money or little money. If you can deal with life, then you can deal with me.
Please, could you share with us 3 of your passions in life?
Okay, I like philosophy. I've liked that since high school. I was really good at the subject in high school, and I actually developed a little crush on my philosophy teacher and him to me. Nothing happened. So I loved it, and I was writing really beautiful essays, if I may say so. For an analytical mind who was good at maths, physics, and chemistry, I was pretty good at writing at the time. So that's another passion of mine, writing. I keep diaries since I was 11 years old, almost daily, if not weekly, so my life is documented. I'm planning to give those to my granddaughter one day, because it's interesting, you know, it goes through the 90s all the way through. I mean, probably gonna keep doing this until I die, and then you have also the vintage effect. And so there's two, philosophy, writing, and the last one, which is I guess my biggest one at the moment, is Freud and analysis and his work. I just, right now and for the last couple of years, I find this extremely interesting and intellectually challenging. I read about it, I also do it on myself, and it's my main hobby. It's the thing I like doing the most. You know, other people like to play tennis, I like analyzing myself. I know it's a bit self-centered, but it's not easy. It's the most difficult thing one can do. The rewards, however, are amazing, and yeah, it is, for me, it is a hobby. I don't know if I will ever stop it, but it is a hobby.
Thank you very much, Marie, and see you soon on Tonalités de Femmes.